it's time for my movie room tour. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. Today I am going through my movie room tour for 2024. I've spent the last few days redoing this room, and I'm very happy with how it's turned out. So I'm sharing that with you guys today, but before I do, hit that like button, subscribe to that notification bell. I'm inching towards 100,000 subscribers, so any support would mean a lot. Also, go show some love to the Unusual Couple podcast for weekly episodes with myself and my girlfriend Cam. But yeah, I'm going to do this vlog style from my POV. I'll probably be sweating by the end of it because there's a lot of stuff to show, and I might be out of breath, but hey, this and Blu-ray collections are workouts. Without further ado, though, let's dive in. Alright, so starting off, this is the door that I walk in from the rest of my house. This is just the blank door, and then immediately when you walk in, you are greeted by the posters for Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame in all their glory. This is, in many ways, the finale to the MCU, at least the MCU I grew up with. I still enjoy a lot of the MCU content we're getting, but this was an era. What a time to be alive. Infinity War right there. Endgame right here, both in all of their glory. They look beautiful next to each other, and it's just a great way to kind of open up the room when you walk in. Directly below these posters, I've got a few things plugged in, one of those being my Eero, which boosts my Wi-Fi like there's no tomorrow. If your Wi-Fi is spotty, I highly recommend these things. This takes the Wi-Fi signal in this room to the next level, and then immediately next to that, I've got my PlayStation 5 with a little USB charger cord for the controllers. I have the version with the disc, because I also use it as like my Blu-ray / 4K player, and you can actually see there's a bit of dust collecting up there. I need to take care of that. Plugged in here as well is my TV, which I'm about to show you, as well as some LED lights, which didn't stick to the back of the TV very well, so they're kind of just piled up on the floor. That's like the one piece of this room that's incomplete. I need to just get some heavy-duty command strips and take care of that. So that's where I walked in. That's what we've seen so far, and right here is the TV. There's me. Hello. I've got a sound bar right here that really does boost the sound quality. You can hear the bass, and this is all just on an old entertainment center I have. This is a 65-inch TCL TV. Not crazy expensive for like a 4K. Underneath, I've actually got an old PS3 specifically for playing NCAA Football 14. That game is my childhood. And above that, I have an Xbox One. I don't really use these consoles. I used to use that Xbox to do Twitch streams and play like the old Lego games and the old Battlefront games, but I only fire out the PS3 if I want to play NCAA, but fortunately I won't have to worry about that soon because we're getting EA Sports College Football 25 on the PS5 this summer. Hallelujah. But yeah, this is where I watch all my movies and shows that I talk about on the channel or just in my leisure time. Eventually I may consider mounting my TV, but who knows. And above that I just have some blank wall space. Honestly, I need to hang some art there or maybe mount the TV like I mentioned. So to the left of the TV is the Blu-ray shelf in all of its glory, and funnily enough, I just posted a Blu-ray collection like a few weeks ago, and I've already changed up the shelf. I've got some new stuff down there that I'll detail in a second. But here's my movies. They're actually organized by genre cards that my girlfriend Cam made. You can see we've got action, adventure, sci-fi, etc., etc. They're all here. I actually have a full Blu-ray collection video I will link up above. I have no clue how many movies I own, but here they are if you want to pause and look at any of them specifically. I actually, again, have a full collection video dedicated to that. But on top of the shelf now, I've got this Indiana Jones artwork. I actually bought this from like an Indiana Jones fan account who was selling off some of their stuff. That's a picture of Indy from Crystal Skull. I am a defender of that movie, so I was like, I like this still from the film, let's go ahead and get it. This is the Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker lightsaber hilt. Then I've got Marvin Harry with Kevin McAllister in the middle from Home Alone, my favorite Christmas film. I have this Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket from Disney World. Then I added these to the top. I've got Davy Jones, Bootstrap Bill, you're a lie, you'll spend an eternity on this ship, next to Jolly Roger from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And then next to that, I've got the throne room scene from Return of the Jedi, Vader versus Luke. Just pure, raw, emotional lightsaber duel right there. I love it. So that's all of the collection, but the bottom half has now become an Indiana Jones shrine. I'm going to detail that right now. So here are all the movies, but the bottom half, like I just said, is now an Indiana Jones shrine. From left to right, we've got a Raiders of the Lost Ark section. You can see Arnold Tot there, and if you zoom in, this Funko Pop actually has the detail on his hand of the burned medallion, aka the headpiece to the Staff of Ra. Then we've got Professor Indy. This is a Funko Shop exclusive. And then Marion right here as well. Those are all pops from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Then if we come over to this middle section, I've got an autographed Sala pop. This is Sala from The Last Crusade, and I actually met John Rhys Davies at MEGACON in Orlando this year. He's such a nice dude, and we actually met him again at Atlanta Comic-Con, and my girlfriend Cam got a Gimli Funko Pop signed, and on the side he wrote, "Avoid bad dates." And then next to that, I've got the Indiana Jones Disney Parks exclusive Funko of him from Temple of Doom holding one of the Sankara stones. If you look inside the box, you can see he's got the machete and he's rocking the no sleeve. One of his best looks from the series. That's at the end of Temple of Doom. And these are the two coolest indie pops I have, so I kept them in box in the middle. And if you come over to this side, I've got a Temple of Doom section. This is Indiana Jones from the beginning of Temple of Doom. He's rocking the white suit jacket. This is from Club Obi-Wan. You can see he's actually holding the antidote because he does get poisoned in this opening scene. Then we've got Short Round, played by QA Kwan. This is an exclusive from this past summer. And then this is the common Indiana Jones pop from Temple of Doom. So I've got a Temple of Doom section and a Raider section. And then if we come all the way back down to the left, I've got what I call the Last Crusade section. This is clearly Henry Jones Sr., played by Sean Connery, rest in peace. And then this standard Indiana Jones pop that I think is technically from Raiders, but I kind of just put the standard Indy next to his father. In the middle, I've got the Raiders of the Lost Ark poster Funko Pop. This thing is huge, and I love the poster. It's one of my favorite films of all time. Then coming back over to this side, I've actually got an artifact section. Two of these are from the Disney parks, and one in the middle I'll talk about in a second. This is one of the Sankara stones from Temple of Doom, and then this is the Disney parks version of the Holy Grail. You can see the gold inside right there, and it's got some detail. It's not fully film accurate. There are some on like Etsy and other prop shops that are better quality, but I'm still happy with how it turned out. And in the middle here, this is probably one of my favorite pieces I own. This is from Regal Robot. They do accurate movie props, and this thing is actually a magnet, but this is the Grail tablet from The Last Crusade that we see Walter Donovan possess, and then obviously Indy and Elsa end up finding the other half in Italy, but still, this thing has so much detail. If you zoom in, it's actually scanned from the film prop, and they have a life-size version of this that you can mount on your wall, but I just went with a smaller edition because of the price. But regardless, this is like my little prop section, and right below it, I actually have the Crystal Skull, again from Disney Parks. This thing lights up as well, and I'm going to show you guys after I finish talking about this what both the Sankara Stone and the skull look like lit up. But yeah, this is like my little Indy shrine, and then rounding it out in the bottom over here, I've got the Funko Pop moment of Indy being chased by the boulder from Raiders of the Lost Ark. That thing's actually got some weight to it, and that's one of the most iconic moments in the franchise, so yeah, it rounds out the Indy area. So my Blu-ray shelf is now half part Indiana Jones Museum, half part movie collection. Alright, so this is what it looks like with the lights off. This is a lit up Sankara Stone, and below that, I've got the Crystal Skull, which just looks awesome in this room. There's a head-on look at the Crystal Skull with it lit up. This is a thing of beauty, and it's got a lot of weight to it as well. So now that I've showed the Blu-ray shelf, if you come to the left, I've got my Once Upon a Time in Hollywood poster on this door, and below that, I've actually got this really cool IMAX film from Oppenheimer. As you guys can see here, there are some shots from the film. It's a little dim, but you get the picture. That's in a Ziploc bag, and it's just taped to the door. But yeah, that rounds out this little corner of the room. Coming over to the left here, I've got a Stranger Things museum, and I'll show you guys what I mean by that in a second, but up top, you can see the Hawkins High School pennant, Go Tigers. I've got my thinking cap right here, obviously the hat Dustin wears in season 4. I have this cool Stranger Things, The World's Turned Upside Down book, and then above that is a popcorn bucket from the Stranger Things experience, which I actually got to go to in Atlanta, Georgia. I have a vlog of that on my channel. It was a ton of fun. But yeah, this is the top of a glass shelf that is dedicated to Stranger Things. If you dip down below, we've got cubicle number 1, a section of Stranger Things Funko Pops dedicated to season 4. I'll detail each row in a second, but I want to say I have all these lights taped up above and working through the shelf to kind of illuminate everything. But starting out on this top row in the far left, I've got a Nancy and Robin 2-pack from Target. I took them out of box. This is from season 4 when they go to Penhurst Asylum to investigate Victor Creel, and so they have to go undercover in those outfits. And to the right of them, I've got Jonathan and Will, the brothers. These are just the common pops from the California storyline. I figured might as well put Jonathan and Will next to each other because they're brothers, and it's the Cali storyline. And if we dip down below, I've got the 2 cool exclusive pops from season 4, the Eddie Munson pop, and then Lucas, the Walmart exclusive of him playing basketball. You can see Eddie's Hellfire shirt. He's rocking the shoes, and he's got the guitar. And then over here, number 8, Hawkins High School. That is Lucas himself. And I kind of have these divided by volume 1 and volume 2. Like up top is volume 1, and then now we're getting into volume 2. Right here, I've got Eddie Munson shredding his guitar in the Upside Down. 11, this is actually the chase from when she fights Vecna. And then over here, we've got Dustin ready for battle. Dropping down 1 row up front, I've got Robin right here, Steve with his axe, and Nancy with the shotgun next to Vecna. It seemed fitting to put this trio together because they're the ones that throw the Molotov cocktails at Vecna. So that's my season 4 cubicle. But dropping down a level, I've actually got this this cool Little People display that Mattel actually sent me. It comes with the Hellfire logo, as well as Mike, Dustin, Eddie, and Erica, and this is from the Hellfire Club episode 1 when we see them playing D&D. Then I have some out-of-box Stranger Things Season 4 pops in front. I've got Robin, and over here I've got Steve in their family video outfits, and then this is 11 from the California storyline early on, and then Lucas from early on in Season 4. And then if we drop down, I've got another one of these risers, and this is dedicated to Seasons 1 and Season 3. Starting on the top row, I've got Joyce in her hazmat suit, or biosuit, from the end of Season 1 when her and Hopper go to find Will in the Upside Down. I don't have the Hopper version of this, but I need to acquire it. Then in the middle, I've got 11 from the early goings of Season 1. This is when she's eating the ice cream. And to the right, I've got Dr. Brenner, just an iconic Stranger Things character. Obviously, he's pretty easy to hate, but still, that look is just iconic early Stranger Things. Then if we drop down a row, I've got Jonathan Byers from Season 1 being a little creep with his camera. He's real weird in Season 1, as we all know. And then over here, we've got Hopper. Mornings are for coffee and contemplation. His iconic look, eating a donut with his sheriff outfit on, drinking some coffee. But dropping down, we're getting into Season 3 now. In this row, I've got Alexei, aka Smirnoff, drinking his little Slurpee from 7-Eleven. In the middle is a Target exclusive 11 pop. This is from her at the very end of Season 3, right before she reads the letter from Hopper. And then on the right, I've got Susie, aka Susie Poo. And then in the front row, I've got the Scoops Troop. We've got Dustin on the left with his Camp Nowhere hat and outfit. Steve and Robin in their Scoops Ahoy uniforms right here. And then to the right, Erica Sinclair. My girlfriend Cam has more of the Season 3 pops at her house, but once we combine our collections, we're probably going to do cubicles based on all the seasons from Seasons 1 through Season 4. You'll notice I don't have any Season 2 pops on display. It's because she has them all at her place. And then dropping down the bottom of the Stranger Things museum piece, as I like to call it, I've got 2 roller skates that were actually sent to me by the Roller Derby Skate Corporation, and I detail both of these in my recent Stranger Things update video. These are based on the skates 11 wears when she hits Angela upside the head. As you can see, there's blood right here. We've got orange wheels that actually light up when they spin. We've got the Rinkomania tag on the tongue. And then in the back, I've actually got some Hellfire skates, but I wanted to display one of each because they're really cool collectible items. And you guys can actually pick up your own at Walmart. So that is my Stranger Things museum, as I like to call it, but let's move on to the next section of the room. Directly to my left, I've got the Morgan and Tony Stark Funko Pop from the end of Endgame, as well as Ted Lasso and the Ted Lasso Chase. These are on top of like this storage unit that just holds extra tech equipment, nothing exciting in there, like wires, cords, etc. Then above this shelf, I've actually got a few different shelves of pop risers. We'll start out with this though. I've got the Iron Man vinyl. This is something my girlfriend painted. And then I have my Clone Wars row with Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka, the trio as we call them from Clone Wars, next to Darth Maul. So that's my Clone Wars section. Then above the Iron Man vinyl, I've got an Iron Man section that's like the progression of the character through the MCU. We've got the Mark I suit. This is him suiting up in Iron Man 2. This is him in Endgame, and this is him right as he snaps and says, "I am Iron Man." Basically, his character arc is on display right here. And then directly above that, I've got a Ted Lasso section with Coach Beard from the Outlier episode of the show where it's just all about Coach Beard. Then we've got Jamie Tart, Jamie Tart, one of my favorite characters right there. Ted himself is in the middle, and then we've got Roy Kent and Sam Obisanya over here. He's actually balancing on a soccer ball. It's a really cool pop. So that's what we're rocking with so far, but if we come above this Iron Man section of pops, I've got some Adams Art Box artwork, Heart of War. I got this framed finally. This is way too beautiful to pass up on, and I finally have it framed and hanging on my wall. And then to top off this little section, I've got more Adams Art Box artwork of Goblin and Spidey from the Raimi trilogy. This is from the end of the first Spider-Man film, and the detail is just crazy here. There you can see Tobey and Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. These two pieces look perfect next to each other, and that showdown at the end of the first Spider-Man is one of the most brutal moments in a Spider-Man film, making for some gorgeous artwork. So that does it for this little corner, and if you come down here, I've got a power outlet that plugs in my PC, the lights, and my MacBook. Over here, I've actually got a extra monitor for when I do Twitch streams, which is rare nowadays. This is my mic for when I do live streams on YouTube, and this is all balanced on my PC, which I need to use more, and it's all on this wooden shelf next to my desk, which you guys can see right here. That's the lens cap to my camera that I'm filming with right now. This is my MacBook, the thing I use to edit all my videos, and I got some new Stranger Things stickers to go on top of it. This is my monitor, and then I have my notebooks here for when I organize and plan scan things, highlighters, pens, you guys know the drill. But this is my desk that I sit at when I film videos. This is my POV when I actually film videos. And underneath my monitor, I've got this little Grogu thing that holds like extra pens or clips or things to hang on the wall, like push pins. It's a little dusty, I apologize, but in here I've got, you know, a mouse, keyboard, some headphones. I store some stuff here like my camera when I'm not filming. This is just more, you know, equipment stuff, and this is a box that I actually use when I'm filming TikToks to balance my tripod on. This is a holographic Stranger Things 4 poster. I had to turn the light away so that it would actually show up, but I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it kind of changes depending on where you're moving in the room. Just recently hung this one up though, it looks sick, and that's next to my Anakin Skywalker lightsaber hilt, as well as the Multiverse of Madness premiere pass from when I went out there in May of 2022. Now this is the background artwork that you see in all my videos. Up top, of course, is the Stranger Things 3 poster. This is from Kirk Manley. His Instagram is BatmanKM. You guys can follow him there, but the detail on this is awesome. It's like a comic book cover. You can see obviously Starcourt, 11, Billy and the Mind Flayer. Just a lot of cool detail here for all the characters. And then below that, I have one for season 4. You've got Max getting Vecna'd, 11, Henry Creel. There's just so much detail. You guys can see I'm going to slowly kind of pan down. Every character gets their moment on this poster. I'm excited to see what he cooks up for season 5 because I will for sure be adding it to my collection. Then we've got this chair that I film in. I use this blanket as like a pillow for back support because sometimes the chair can be a little uncomfortable. And then next to that, I've got the Dear Billy poster from the Netflix shop. I actually got it at the Stranger Things experience. No more lies, no more hiding. We can see Steve, Dustin, and Lucas inside Max's head right there. And there she is getting Vecna'd. And then of course down here, Dear Billy with Stranger Things 4 logo. And next to that, I've got the one for the piggyback. Try to be very still. It will all be over soon. Chapter 9, the piggyback. There's Eddie Munson shredding the guitar in the upside down, and there's a Stranger Things 4 logo right there. So I've got some cool Stranger Things art in my set here. But if I take a step back, I got some even cooler stuff to show you guys now. This is my new set for filming, starting at the top left. This is a Hopper print from Adam's Art Box. I follow him on Instagram. You guys can buy all these prints online. This is Hopper from season 3, and at the bottom it says, "For the sake of your poor old dad, keep the door open 3 inches." The reason I got this is obviously Hopper's one of my favorite characters, if not my outright favorite, but I also cosplay as this version of Hopper a few times. It's one of my favorite cosplays I've ever done, so I needed to commemorate that. Then next to that, I've got Steve, always the babysitter, with a lot of cool detail here. Obviously, he's got his bat and the axe from season 4, but if you zoom in, you know, we see a family video patch, a Scoops Ahoy patch. There's a lot of detail to this. And Steve and Hopper are like my 1A, 1B favorite characters in the show, so I had to have them next to each other. And if we come further down, I've got two 11x17s. This one is actually a beheaded Demogorgon with the sword from Stranger Things 4. The quote says, "I still got a date to make." Obviously, Hopper says that. And then you can see right here the blood, but there's actually more detail than you'd think. If you really zoom into this thing, you can see right here it says, "You don't mess around with Jim." At the bottom, that says 11, and it's shaped like a waffle. The artist himself, Adam, actually showed me all these cool things. There's even more in my Fan Expo Dallas video. You can check that out for more behind the scenes. And then over here, this is Stranger Things Season 3 on display. At the bottom, it says "The Never Ending Story." You've got Dustin right here with Cerebro. The moon right there looking beautiful as ever. This is just a cool piece of artwork from Stranger Things. Then if we drop down, I've actually got Stranger Things Season 1 and Stranger Things Season 2 on Blu-ray. These are just the VHS editions. They didn't do one for Season 3 or 4 yet. I hope they do. And I have those on display just because they're cool. They used to be just laying down on their side, but I wanted to actually show them off. And then right here, I've got the Creel house with Vecna from Season 4. This is a pop town, and it just looks really cool out of box. Moving over to the right, I've got my autographed Dustin and Mike Funko Pops that I got at MEGACON. You guys can check out my full MEGACON vlog linked up above, as well as the panel I did with Sean Chandler and my girlfriend Cam. We had a blast with that, talking Stranger Things 5 theories. But Gaten Matarazzo signed this in purple. Looks great. And then right here, we've got Finn Wolfhard's autograph in red ink. Below that, I've got the Duffer Brothers Hot Topic exclusive Funko Pop of Matt and Ross Duffer. This thing is just cool, and the Duffer Brothers deserved a spot in the backdrop because they are the masterminds behind the show. And at the bottom here, I've got 01 and Vecna next to each other. I thought this looked cool because obviously we know 01/Henry is Vecna, and they just looked really neat next to each other, especially with the new wave box design. This little pattern right here matches nice with this pattern right here, and it feels fitting having those next to each other. And then I have another row of pops as well. Up top, I've got Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence signed by Ralph Macchio and William Zabka. I met them at Atlanta Comic Con. I'll link that vlog up above. Dropping down, I've got more autograph pops. This is John Bernthal, the Punisher Funko Pop signature, 1 batch, 2 batch, penny and dime. I met him, Fan Expo Dallas, and right here, I've got Giancarlo Esposito signed Moff Gideon Funko Pop. You Have Something I Want. He was really nice about him at Atlanta Comic Con as well. This was actually prior to Season 3. Moff Gideon's still a great character, but they kind of did nothing with him in Season 3, unfortunately. Dropping down, I've got some Batman pops to round this thing out. We've got a Bruce Wayne, a Batman, another Bruce Wayne, a Penguin Chase. Then we've got Selena Kyle and the Riddler with this Batman and Batmobile pop. So if we come back out this way and drop down, I've actually got a light that I'll turn on in a second with the lights off to show you guys the full effect. But this is the fertility idol from the first indie film Raiders, and this is the Disney Parks version, and then this is the headpiece to the staff of Raw that again is a Disney Parks exclusive. And in the back there, I've got this cool Indiana Jones 2023 Fall Convention exclusive Raiders pop where there are snakes and Indy is holding the torch. If we drop down below, I've got an Iron Man helmet right here, and then to the right, I've got a Grogu with a Grogu pop, and then Luke from The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 8. And then down below, I just have 3 storage bins that I keep some out-of-box pops in and some like notepads and pens, stuff like that. And then I have this extension cord for my camera batteries, as well as a phone charger and other accessories for filming. This is what this section looks like with the light on though, and I can change the color actually to say red, green, blue, whatever I desire, but it looks really cool. My preference right now is just the good old-fashioned white light, but some of these other ones look really cool as well. Moving along, I've got some posters over this couch. This one is another piece of art from Kirk Manley. This is for The Mandalorian, specifically Season 1. Then I've got this Punisher artwork, which has been in my background before, but I love the Punisher, actually more than Daredevil, even though both shows are fantastic. So excited to see Bernthal back in the role, as well as Charlie Cox. Then moving over here, I've got the Batman poster in a frame now. This one used to be in the backdrop of my videos, and again, these are all from Kirk Manley, aka Batman KM on Instagram. Moving over here, I've got one for the boys. We've got Homelander and the Seven, and then up front we've got the boys. This had been just in a protector, not on display, but I had to finally get it in a frame because it is so gorgeous. And then down here, I've got a Back to the Future poster, which I have a lot more Back to the Future stuff to show you guys momentarily. There's my ring light reflection right there. All these posters are over this couch. That is the LED remote control for whenever I turn on those overhead lights right here, which again go all around the room like so. And that little remote is for turning on the lights inside the cubicles. And then over here, I've got, TV remote, soundbar remote, and the PlayStation controller. So those are all my posters, but if we work our way right here and take a step back, I've got a new addition to the room, this 6 cubicle shelf that's really neat. I'm going to start at the top though. I've got this riser with my Marty McFly sign pop and my Christopher Lloyd sign pop. So if you want more detail on those interactions, I have them in my MegaCon vlog. Right here, I've got a basic Marty McFly pop out of box, and then a Doc Brown pop. I've got some Adams art box, Jaws artwork right here. This is a really cool concept. You can see the orca ship up top with the sunset, and then Bruce the shark right here with some blood. Then if you come down, I've got my E.T. Deluxe Pop Moment. That's a glow-in-the-dark moon behind Elliot and E.T. In the middle, I've got the DeLorean that I actually got from Universal Studios. It lights up when you press this button, and then behind it I have the photo from Back to the Future Part 3 of Doc and Marty. And then right here, I've got the Doc Brown pop from when Marty first interacts with him in 1955, when Doc obviously got the idea for the flux capacitor by falling off his toilet. And then I have this Pop Town of the Clock Tower with Doc Brown atop it. And then right here, I actually have the letter that says do not open until 1985. This is the letter that Marty gives to Doc, detailing Doc Brown's fate. So yeah, I've got some cool Back to the Future stuff, Jaws artwork, more Back to the Future E.T. stuff. But if we come down, I've actually got some individual cubicles. Right here, I've got the Lion King. Shout out Ben, aka Meteor's Reviews, for sending me this pop. And I've got Pongo Old Boy and Purdy from 101 Dalmatians. To the right, I've got this cool Funko Pop of Iron Man. This is one of those cast pops. It's got a lot of weight to it. Dropping down here, I've got a section dedicated to Jaws with Quint, Matt Hooper, Chief Brody, and of course the shark itself. And then to the right, I've got another Back to the Future section with Doc 2015, Marty in future outfit, and then Marty in his Western outfit, aka Marty as Clint Eastwood, if you will. And then I have this cool holographic picture. You can see if I move it like this, Marty's siblings disappear. Pretty cool stuff. All these little collectibles that I have, like the pictures and the letter, those actually came from a Back to the Future book that I got at Barnes & Noble. And then at the very bottom, I've got Force Ghosts, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda from the end of Return of the Jedi, as well as some Star Wars books, a Marvel comic, and of course an Indiana Jones magazine next to the Hound Funko Pop, my favorite character in all of Game of Thrones. And then immediately next to it, I've got another glass cubicle. Up top is Star Wars. I've got the Bad Batch, all with their helmets off from Season 1. I still need to finish Season 2, and then Season 3 is coming out this this week. Then we've got Ahsoka from The Mandalorian, and then a moment of Mando and Grogu from the show. This first cubicle is dedicated to Star Wars. We've got Ben Kenobi from A New Hope, Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith, and Obi-Wan from The Clone Wars when he's actually in his Mando gear from the end of Season 5. All I'll say is, sad things ensue when he's wearing that armor. Then I've got the Disney Parks Hondo Ohnaka, Cal Kestis from Fallen Order, and Cassian Andor from the Andor series. And out front, I've got some Mandalorians out of box. We've got Boba Fett, Mando with Grogu from the end of Season 2, and Bo-Katan from the Clone Wars. Dropping down, we've got a Marvel cubicle with the 3 Spider-Men from No Way Home, all of them unmasked. No Way Home is still elite. I'll never understand the hate for it, but the coolest pops of these 3 easily is the Andrew pop. Then below that, I've got some Hawkeye pops. We have Kate Bishop with her bow and arrow, and then Clint and Kate in their Christmas sweaters, and out front, I've got some more pops. We have Hulk with the Nano Gauntlet, and Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, and then to this side, I have Cap wielding Mjolnir, Captain America, aka Sam Wilson on the right, and to the left, I've got Bucky from the Winter Soldier. So I've got a Star Wars section, a Marvel section, and cue the Teen Wolf theme song because now we've got a Teen Wolf section. Over here is a picture of myself, my girlfriend Cam, with Tyler Hoechlin, who plays Derek in Teen Wolf. And then this is a signed Funko Pop from Tyler Posey, who plays Scott McCall. There's 2 other Teen Wolf Pops, but they're kind of pricey, but I would love to own them one day. Another Marvel section. I've got this Ant-Man popcorn bucket that's a really cool like helmet display. This really awesome Thor statue from Infinity War, and then 2 Thor Pops. Thor with Stormbreaker and Mjolnir from the end of Endgame, and Thor glowing from the end of Ragnarok on the bridge scene. And then to the left, I've got this license plate collection that I started at Comic-Cons recently, getting license plates from iconic movies that I really like or shows. Starting out, we've got California Out of Time from The DeLorean and Back to the Future. Then we've got Lawyer Up from Better Call Saul, which is an all-time TV show. Above that, we've got the Cobra Kai license plate from Johnny/Stingray's car. Then we've got Todd Father from Season 3 of Stranger Things. Screw Todd, Steve's her daddy now. And up top, we've got Styles' Jeep license plate from Teen Wolf. And this is what this shelf looks like with the overhead lights off. The glow from atop just really illuminates these shelves. And again, I'm a big fan of ambiance lighting. I need to get even more for this room. And to the left of my license plates, I've got the original trilogy poster starting with A New Hope right here, The Empire Strikes Back with a ring light reflection right there, and then Return of the Jedi. I love this trilogy. They are the 3 best Star Wars films in my mind, and my favorite trilogy of all time. But that's not all, folks. I've actually got a Cobra Kai shrine going right here that I'm going to show you guys now. At the bottom, I've got my autograph from Gianni DiCenzo, who plays Dimitri in Cobra Kai. Above that, I've got some cool Cobra Kai art that my girlfriend painted of the logo. And above that, I've got some more Adams Art Box art. We've got a Coors Banquet, which, as we know, William Zabka's Johnny drinks a lot, so I had to get William Zabka to sign this. It says No Mercy, and of course, you can see all the detail if you want to pause and look at it. And above that, he actually wrote his iconic line, "Light beer is for pussy." Now, to the left of this, I've got all my 8x10 pictures that I've gotten signed from the Cobra Kai cast. Starting out, we've got Martin Kove, who plays Kreese. He said, "To Chris, the real story's only just begun." That's my favorite line from him. And that moment from the end of Season 1 is so badass. And he said, "No mercy, Marty Sensei Kove." Then over here, I've got Paul Walter Hauser, who plays Stingray. He said, "To Chris, no mercy." Moving over to the left, I've got Jacob Scott Thomas Bertrand, who plays Hawk. I got this one at Atlanta Comic-Con, and he even outlined his mohawk in silver Sharpie, which looks so cool. I didn't ask him to do that or anything. He just said, "I'm going to personalize this," and that is just such a cool touch. And then coming over to the left again, I've got Xolo Maridueña, who plays Miguel Diaz, and he's also Blue Beetle in DC. He's a huge star in the making, but he said, "To Chris, no mercy." And the final Cobra Kai autograph I have for now is Peyton List, who plays Tori. She said, "Chris, no mercy." So there's my sort of Cobra Kai wall right there. And this is the other couch. There are some blankets that are Star Wars themed, but there you have it. That is the movie room, because that is where we started. So that does it for my movie room tour for 2024. Spent like 2 days reorganizing it. I'm not sure the next time I'll ever even redo this thing because I'm really content with how everything's organized right now. But what do you guys think of my movie room? What is your favorite movie collectible or movie that you own? Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to that notification bell, and I might do a Funko Pop collection, but I kind of just did one in this video, so probably won't. But yeah, thank you guys as always for watching. Stay tuned for more content coming very soon. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.